Was ist los? It's your German boy here, and welcome back to another episode of If My Heart Had Wings. Now, the last time we started taking advantage of our new de facto clubhouse, being Asa and Yoru's garage, and as we work on our glider again, it's actually starting to feel like a real club again. I'm super excited to see where we go from here, so I'm just gonna go ahead and jump right into it. There was still something we needed to do as part of the safe execution of the glider improvement project. That was cutting the grass on the runway. We gathered some people to help with the work on a midsummer Saturday afternoon under the blazing hot sun. About halfway through the work, Kotori and I went to greet the landowner at their home.
暑い。溶けちゃうよ、夜じゃ。ならこっち来て一緒に休めば？日陰涼しいよ。ジュースもあるわよ。いい。ほら、頑張って朝ちゃん。これやらないと飛べないんだから。はい。
True. I pushed Kotori's wheelchair back to where the others were still working.
おかえり。おかえりなさい先輩。どうしたんですか?
Asked Asa, looking at Kotori's gloomy expression.
みんな、ごめん。
Everyone was puzzled by Kotori coming back with her head held lowered in apology.
どうしたの? 何かあったの?
Man, these typos are kind of throwing me off. I'm sorry.
滑走路を借りられなくなった。
9!
なんで?
Ageha, who was now even more puzzled, looked at me, who had accompanied Kotori. It's as Kotori says. They said we can't use it. The landowner is an old member of the soaring club, and last year they had willingly let us use the runway. But this year we can't use it.
実は
Kotori told everyone the situation. That person knew that the soaring club has lost its status. The school had requested that they not allow former members of the soaring club to use the runway. The one who contacted them was none other than Mr. Tobioka. Because it doesn't count as club activities, if any problems occurred, they couldn't be held responsible. That's why they can't let us use it even if they wanted to. It's a natural decision. It wasn't their fault at all, and they apologized over and over.
またあのおっさんか。ったく、どこまで邪魔する気よ。
It seems like no distance is too far for him. He probably realizes that we are carrying out our activities in secret. He must already know that it was us who took the glider from the storeroom.
ごめんなさい。私のせいだわ。私がこんな体だから余計に警戒されちゃったのよ。
Kotori, please, don't blame yourself. It's not your fault. Was? That's got nothing to do with it.
なんでそうなるわけ?
Kotori was acutely aware of something in the landowner's reaction. There certainly was an element of that. If something were to happen to someone disabled like Kotori, it's a problem. It's possible that it would become an even bigger problem. Although the landowner didn't actually say anything like that, it seems that Mr. Tobioka had made that implication. They didn't say it directly, but it seems that the school had said something like that to them.
何それ? 最低.
I know, right? Ableist pricks. However, that's not the reason. The real reason they refused is because the soaring club is treated as having been shut down.
じゃあ、飛べないんですか? 滑走路がないんじゃ。 お手上げね。そんな。
Asa looked sadly at her hands that were covered in dirt from pulling up the weeds.
他の場所探してみたら？無理よ。平らで十分な広さがある土地なんて限られてるもの。バカみたい。
Entschuldigung? Yoru, who was sitting in the shade listening to our conversation, spoke like she was irritated. Kothari glared angrily at her.
その程度で諦めちゃうわけ？さっきまでやる気満々だったくせに。
You have a point.
何よ、あんたには関係ないでしょ。
Hey, Kothari. Let's hear her out.
あるわよ。あの場所を貸してるし、姉さんだって巻き込まれちゃってるし。でもその程度なら、さっさとやめちゃった方がいいかもね。ヨルちゃん、やめて。本当のこと言ってるだけよ、私は。
There's nothing mistaken in what Yoru is saying. If we get depressed and give up because of something like this, it would have been better if we'd never even started in the first place. That's why no one has anything to say back to her. We won't give up! Isn't that right, Kothari?
ええ、もちろんよ。
That's the spirit. Just as things were starting to go well, we were hit with a big counterpunch, which left us reeling. But we're not ones to lose heart at this sort of thing. Hell no!
でもどうするの？他に場所探すったって。
Nine. There's no need to do that.
ん？
It's simple. All we have to do is to be accepted as a club again. That's what we are aiming for originally. There's no reason for us to be depressed, is there?
ああ、そっか。
Kothari nods enthusiastically.
この程度、私たちにとっちゃ逆境でもなんでもないって、あのおっさんに思い知らせてやるのよ。
You got that right.
飛岡先生の嫌がらせは、今に始まったことじゃないしね。
True. The test flight will have to be postponed a little longer, though.
皆さん、この私をコケにしてくれたこと、必ず後悔させてやるわ。
Yeah! Yeah. It would appear that we need to speed things up when it comes to the restoration of the club, so that we can return to the sky as soon as possible. Here we go. Ein mehr Tag. Asa had become a member, so one of Akari's conditions had been met, which meant there were two left to fulfill. The lack of a teacher to act as advisor, and the lack of qualified personnel. If the advisor is someone who has the qualifications, that would fulfill both at the same time, but that would be just too good to be true.
すまんな。お前たちの気持ちはわかるんだが、俺も演劇部の顧問やってるから。
What if we asked Yamanobe?
先生が演劇なんて似合わない。そうだ。
うるさいよ。俺は今でこそ慶風学園で教師やってるが、本当は芸術家志望だったんだ。芸術はいいぞ。お前らもグライダーなんかやめて演劇部に入れ。
嫌です。お断りです。
先生ちょっと傷ついたぞ。
The teacher left hurt and we all slouched forward, dejected. By the way, that was our homeroom teacher.
やっぱダメか。
This isn't going very well, is it?
どの先生ももうどこかの部活を受け持っているんですね。
Said Asa. She looked at the list. That's a list of teachers at Keifu Academies that Ageha had made. It has information on their homeroom class, clubs to which they are advisor, and whether or not they're on Mr. Tobioka's side. Today, using that list, we've been going around and asking all the teachers who seem like they might cooperate with us. But you did really well to get all this information.
アゲハちゃんの情報網を甘く見ないでよね。
Prost.
あとは山野辺先生くらいか。
I just mentioned him. Let's see. We can't ask him. Even more of his hair will go vice.
そしたら今度こそ新妻と離婚の危機に。
Holy shit, are the stakes really that high? Our advisor last year, Mr. Yamanobe, is young, but he's married. It seems his wife is a slender and pretty woman, but seeing her husband, who she'd only just married, aging right before her eyes, she screamed, "This shouldn't be happening!" Apparently. I guess I can understand how she feels.
この際、そこは諦めてもらうしかないわ。
You can't just decide something like that.
そうだよ、かわいそうだよ。奥さん美人だって噂なのに。じゃあ、どうするのよ。それは。
Let's think of another way. It's after school. We're taking a day off from club activities. The materials we ordered still haven't arrived, so for the time we've stopped working. Which is why, for the first time in a while, we've got nothing to do after school.
アゲハ、今日部活ないんでしょ？どっか寄ってこいよ。ごめん、用事あるんだ。
Ageha refused the invitation of the girls into class and came over to me.
ねえ、葵、暇でしょ？買い物付き合ってよ。
Where do you wanna go?
ウィンディの地下街だけど。
Kotori goes past us as we're speaking. Kotori, what are you up to?
私、秘密基地に寄って帰る。
Huh? Why is that?
ちょっとだけやっときたいことがあるの。
I see. I wonder what Asa's up to. We've told her we're taking a day off, so perhaps she's gone somewhere to hang out with Yoru?
ねえ、葵、付き合ってよ。
What should I do? You know what? I really do honestly want to see what Kotori's up to, so... You know, I'll pick that. I'm going to the secret base, too.
ふーん、そう。
Ageha had a bored-sounding tone to her voice as she said see you tomorrow and left the classroom. Okay, let's go, Kotori. This'll be fun.
アゲハの誘い、断ってよかったの？
What do you mean?
だって、
Huh?
葵くん、秘密基地に何か用事があるの？
Well, not really. Since Kotori's going, I thought I'd go with her. Even if I did go with Ageha, I'd only end up carrying her bags for her. You were about to say something just then. What was it?
別に何でもない。
We spoke on our way out the school gate.
水瀬先輩、こんにちは先輩。
A group of first grade girls called out to me. Almost immediately as they had surrounded me. Guten Tag.
今帰りなんですか？これから部活なんですか？
Yeah, well, I guess so. It seems that they are Asa's friends. Seems like Asa was probably talking in her classroom about how she joins the soaring club, which is fine. But it looks like her friends have become interested in it. It's strange that their interest isn't in the glider, but rather in Mish? Now that they're coming to greet me and ask all these kinds of questions.
朝どんくさいから迷惑かけてるんじゃないですか？
That's not true. Asa's trying really hard. She's trying her best, actually. There's nothing really wrong with this, but I'm not used to it, so I feel kind of uncomfortable. With a fake smile on her face, Kotori watches me from outside the circle.
ああ、葵くん、私先に行くから。
Hey, wait!
先輩、かっこいいですよね。背も高いし、朝ちゃんがすごく優しいって言ってました。
Oh, did she now? Nah, I mean, hey, Kotori, wait up! Kotori had made a face that said she couldn't stay with me and had already gone off ahead. Opening the metal door and going inside, there was Kotori working alone in the huge dock. I can't believe you left me behind!
あれ以上、葵くんのヘラヘラみっともない顔、見ていたくなかったんだもん。
She wasn't as angry as I thought she'd be, but she still was a little blunt. Come here, I bought you some ice cream. It's Haagen-Dazs strawberry flavor. And Kotori glared at me from a distance. Then she pushed her wheelchair towards me. Here you go.
ありがとう。
We sat in the corner of the dock eating ice cream. I think you have to eat ice cream in a hot place. Where we are now could be any hotter. Excuse me. As an Arizona resident, I take offense to this statement.
ねえ、葵くん。
Yeah?
アイス食べさせとけば機嫌が治るだろうとか思ってない？
With a plastic spoon still in her mouth, she gives me a sideways look. I don't think so. Maybe some.
まあ、いいけど、美味しいから。
I guess that's her perspective on it, but it looks like she accepted this as a form of apology. What were you doing?
道具の手入れ、あと掃除とか。
Okay. You came here all by yourself to do that? And Kotori nods while eating her Haagen-Dazs. We could all do that tomorrow together.
みんなとだと、私、足手まといになるし。
Kotori seems a bit sullen as she speaks. I reflect on having said something that didn't need to be said. Kotori's in a wheelchair, so whether we're working, cleaning, or whatever it may be, she can't do it the same way as everyone else. No one thinks of her as a burden, but I guess there is a difference in the amount of work she can do. Kotori's worried about that, and everyone seems to be aware of that.
何かするとき、みんなが私のこと気遣ってるの、分かってるの。それが嫌なの、悲しくなる。
Yeah. We can't completely avoid looking out for her. The reason we do that's because she's important to us. But I can understand why that makes things tough for her. When I got injured and had to quit the cycle racing club, having my friends look out for me sometimes made me happy, and sometimes it was tough. Kotori usually doesn't show that. She sometimes finds that, though. She can be cheerful at times, and at others, she makes selfish requests like it's no big deal. The fact that she can say what she really thinks around us is a relief to us, though.
情けないわ、ほんと。私、部長なのに。滑走路の時も、迷惑かけちゃったし。
I think you know this, but no one except you worries about it. Tears appear in Kotori's eyes. Don't start crying all of a sudden. Come on, you'll spoil the ice creams that I went to the effort, so yeah. Oh, 9. She's hanging her head even more now. I don't know what's triggered this, but she's gone into faint-hearted mode. I put my hand on her head the same way as always and start stroking it. Zea, it's nothing to cry about, is it?
泣いてないもん。これは汗だもん。
Kotori starts sniffing. This year, Kotori's been working really hard as the leader of the Soaring Society. She doesn't have the same level of expert knowledge or techniques as Ageha, and she can't be a pilot like me either. It looks like there's nothing only Kotori can do. But, in the past, like the time we found out that Amane would be leaving, whenever there's a difficult situation, Kotori is always the one who says, I want to do it like this, and expresses herself the strongest of all of us. Kotori has a straightforward nature, like a child, and she's like a compass showing us the direction in which we should be heading. Hey, your ice cream's gonna melt. Kotori slowly ate it while crying. She looked like a child who's become timid after being scolded by ihr Mutter. It was kind of... Huh?
何?
It's nothing. Come on, eat up. I couldn't help myself looking at her crying, and without thinking, I blushed while trying to cover it up. I think everyone knows how hard she's trying. She's disabled, so even something like pushing her wheelchair all the way to the secret base all by herself is really tough. But to Kotori, that's perfectly natural. But she's also worried about not being able to move around like everyone else. She has an unusually strong sense of responsibility, so she's concerned about inconveniencing other people. However, originally, the girl known as Kotori Habane was just a regular girl. She looks cute, and her grades and general sporting abilities are probably better than most people, but yeah. Also, she's easily moved to tears, a little self-conscious, and when she tries too hard, she sometimes cries. When did it start? I guess from the time I persuaded her not to quit school, it's been my duty to comfort her. It seems like she only cries in front of me. Maybe that's what she needs. I think that when she cries, she can let out all the things she's been bottling up. Zea, you're trying so hard, Kotori. You're trying so hard.
もう、バカにしないで。
While still crying, she gives me a punch in the side. It doesn't really hurt, though. I stroke her head and hug her gently. Sorry, but this is kind of embarrassing. As I speak honestly to her, Kotori pushes her forehead into my chest, then without making a sound. While holding Kotori's head, one part of me wants her to stop crying, but another part of me wanted to stay like this for a little longer.
ありがとう。もう復活した。
said Kotori, moving her forehead away from me. She pours a totally melted ice cream into her mouth as if it were juice. Anytime you need to borrow, you let me know. I won't charge any rental fees, I said jokingly, then...
当然よ。私みたいな美少女の頭撫でたり、軽く抱きしめたりできるんだから。
And showed?
そういうの、役得って言うんでしょ?
You can't say things like that about yourself, you know.
ほら、もう帰っていいわよ。
So, now that you stopped crying, my work here is done?
さっきの1年生の女の子らと遊んでくれば?
As she says that, she goes back to work. Oh, is this what they call jealousy? Whoa, that's dangerous! A spanner came flying at me.
欲しい。
What the hell are you doing? What would you have done if that had actually hit me?
なんで私が焼きもちなんか焼かなくちゃいけないのよ。バカじゃないの？
Oh my god. But it sounds like you're jealous. Whoa! This time it's a screwdriver and a pair of nippers that came flying.
さっさと帰ってちょうだい。作業の邪魔だから。
She said while clutching a power drill. Sensing danger, I do as she says. Wow, okay. Alright, I'm off now, but if you need anything, you can reach me on my cell. Also, let me know when you're gonna come leave. I'll come and get you.
いらない。
Nine. Once it gets dark, I can't let you go back by yourself. Make sure you call me, okay? As I emphasize my point, I opens the metal doors and leaves the dock.
どうせ私なんか女の子だって思ってないくせに。
I went back to my room and sat down on the bed. I've got nothing to do. Having no club activities made me realize just how long a day can be. I take my cell phone from my pocket, and at some point I got a text. For a moment, I thought, is it from Amane? And I hurriedly opens the message, but... It's from Anchan? I was a little disappointed, and while apologizing on the inside to Anchan, I read the text. Have you met Amane yet? Huh? She was having a meeting at our factory. She said she might go over to Flying Fish Manor. Amane's coming? The time that the text was sent was 2 hours ago. Kanako!
どうした？
Did Amane come by?
望月先輩？いや、来てないよ。ゆかさん、望月先輩来てませんか？今日は来客なかったと思うけど。
Dankeschön! I say my thanks and then go dashing out the dormitory. When I called Anchan, he went to the trouble of coming round in his truck. I got in and we drove around the station, but we saw no sign of Amane. I tried to call her, but she didn't answer, so maybe she'd already gotten on the train.
すまん。メールじゃなく電話にしておけばよかったな。まさか寄らずに帰るとは思ってなかったんだ。
It looks like she'd gone to Anchan's factory to order some parts. There was no one else who she could ask for such complex parts. When she went to leave, Anchan asked, "Are you gonna go and see those guys?" And she answered, "That's what I'm planning to do." However, she's quite fickle, so maybe she changed her mind. I had already told Kotari and Ageha about it. They were both happy that Amane was coming to Kazagawa, and when they found out that she'd left without seeing them, they said, "I can't believe it. Amane, you Dummkopf!" Oh, 9. What a shame. I really wanted to see her again. And so on, expressing the regret.
納品前にもう一度打ち合わせすることになってる。その時は先に教えるようにするよ。
Okay. Dankeschön, Anchan.
寮まで送っていこ
う。9, here's fine. I have some shopping to do for dinner anyway.
そうか。じゃあ、またな。
Auf Wiedersehen! Ja, Dankeschön, Anchan. As Anchan's light truck drove away, I stood there dazed. It was true that I had some shopping to do, but I didn't feel like doing it right away. I want to see Amane. That feeling had suddenly become much stronger. Would I be downhearted when she finds out the soaring club isn't doing so well? Or do I want her to praise us for working so hard? I'm fucking thirsty. I went into the convenience store in front of me to buy some juice. Then I wandered about the area. This was to ease my feelings of not knowing what to do. I'll go shopping once I've calmed down. While I was wandering around, before I knew it, I found myself at the runway. A few days ago, we came here to cut the grass, so it looks quite tidy, but before that, it was overgrown with weeds. Between those weeds were lines where the soil was exposed. These were marks in the wheels of the glider that had ran over it so many times. Usually a glider is launched into the oncoming wind. However, because it was complicated to move the winch which had been positioned there to face the wind, we always launched in the same direction. I stood in the middle of the huge wide runway and gazed toward that winch. Memories of the acceleration of being pulled by the tow rope, then floating into the sky, came flooding back to me. As I look up, I see the bright blue sky and a towering thunderhead. I envision riding on the wind in that glider. I want to fly again. In our glider. I've been traveling to the airfield for the purpose of training. But flying in the glider that we made is totally different. The wind that blows over Kazagawa is not the same as there. Huh? I saw someone next to the winch. The outline was kind of blurry because it was wavering in the hot air, so I couldn't see well, but... What are you doing? The cover of the winch was open, and they were taking a look inside. Was it some sort of prank? Or was I trying to steal the parts? Anyway, I can't just let this be. As I dashed towards them, the person closed the cover, then noticed me. When they were about 300 meters between us, our eyes met. The next moment, the person began to wave their hand. Then they started jumping up and down? Could it be? Kind of big. Amane? I was already running when I shouted out in surprise. Amane! What's up? Wie geht's? How's Scheiß?
やっぱり葵くんだ。
Well, I will be damned. What? What are you doing here? The first thing I asked was a question like that. I was aware of the fact that the first thing I said after finally meeting again kinda sounded like I was pissed.
いや、ウインチがまた壊れてないかチェックしておこうと思ってな。ちゃんとメンテナンスしてるみたいだな。問題は見つからなかったぞ。
Das ist gut. Of course, of course.
そうか。そうだな。君たちは私なんかと違ってしっかり者揃いだものな。
Nein, I don't mean that. What are you doing in a place like this?
だからウインチの調子を。
Nein, not that. Why didn't you say anything to us, then come out to a place like this? You could have contacted us.
ああ、うん。だってもう私のことなんて忘れてるんじゃないかと思って。
How can we forget you? Aren't we always texting?
そうか、そうだったな。でもメールは仕事の依頼やクライアントからの催促メールに混ざってるから気づかないことが多くてな。たまに間違えて一緒にゴミ箱に。
I heard from Anshan that you were coming, but you still didn't contact us, so I...
すまない。いきなり行くと迷惑かもしれないと思ったんだ。
So why not contact us before you come?
それはそれで迷惑かもしれないし。だってもう私のことなんか。
I just told you. That was all I said as my voice changed to a huge sigh. Common sense doesn't really work on her. This is Amane Mochizuki we are talking about here.
ごめんよ、葵くん。
9, I'm the one who should be sorry. But I've been calling you over and over on your cell. You didn't notice that either?
ああ、携帯電話ならラボに置いてきた。
Typical.
だって
Varum!
あれうるさいんだ。毎日作業の進捗を聞いてきて。携帯電話もメールも便利な道具じゃない。人間を束縛する悪のツールだと私は思うぞ。
Based take from Amane here. That's actually fucking based. Yeah, that's fucking based. I hang my head in dismay. What happened to all my impatience and desperation that I just had until now?
元気だったかい？
Yeah, pretty good. Kotori Nageha as well.
そっか、よかった。
How about you, Amane?
私は普通だ。みんなから相変わらずだなって言われてるぞ。
For some reason, Amane puffs out her chest proudly. It was the same as always, huh? I was kinda relieved to hear that. Not just that she's doing okay. I thought her being the same as always meant she hadn't changed since the time we spent together in that old garage. Amane's not a student anymore. She's part of the working world now. Which means that she's now an adult, so she lives in a different world to us.
ウインチ、メンテナンスはしているようだが、最近使われた形跡はなかったな。飛んでないのか？
That's right. After the demolition of the garage, I sent her a text briefly summarizing recent events. If she hadn't accidentally deleted it along with all her work emails, she would know about that. But most of it was good news, and I didn't really write about the bad shit. She's already left the school, so I didn't want to make her worried about it. I explained what had actually been going on.
そんなことになっていたのか。すまない。私のせいでみんなに迷惑をかけて。
It's not your fault, Amane. It's nobody's fault, really. If I had to say, it was Mr. Tobioka's fault, but he might have his own reasons. The truth is, the Soaring Club was in the way of the student dormitory being built. It's hardly ever a fair compromise when it comes to the needs of adults and the needs of kinder.
今日はいい具合に雲が出てて気流も荒れてるから、ここへ来れば飛んでるところを見られるかもと思ったんだ。でもそうか。あれからまだ飛べていなかったのか。
Amane's expression darkens, perhaps because she feels responsible. Oh yeah, do you have time after this? I'll call Ageha and Kotori, so please, come to our place for something to munch on. I'll introduce you to our newest member, too.
葵くんのご飯。
Amane, no,
それは
pass.
とても嬉しい申し出だが、もう行かなくちゃいけない。帰ってすぐ仕事があるんだ。
Oh, really?
すまない。
Well, guess I gotta respect that grind set one way or another. It's okay. If you'd contacted us sooner, as I mumbled angrily, Amane... Oh, we fucked up.
ごめんよ。
Please, just think about it. Of course, we want to see you, you know.
うん、わかった。
The answer is in a childish way, so I couldn't help laughing at how funny it was.
じゃあ、私はもう行くよ。
By train? I'll go with you part of the way. I have to go shopping anyway.
ああ、頼む。
So that's how I had a surprise reunion with Amane. Ow, my ears.
あまねちゃんと会ったの？
Yeah. After that, I went to the runway and met her by chance.
なんですぐ呼ばないのよ。
Well, Amane had to leave.
葵くんだけずるい。
Yeah, I'm sorry, but it was really only for a short time. It looks like she'll be coming back soon, so I told her to come by and see us then.
私も会いたかった。あまねちゃんに。
Es tut mir leid. I feel like I'm not really to blame here, but I apologize anyway. I know exactly how Kotori feels.
今度来るのね。今度っていつ？
3 days from now.
3日後。あまねちゃんに会えるんだ。
3 Tagen. A big smile spreads across Kotori's face.
メールの返事、ろくにしてこないこと、しっかり文句言ってやるんだから。
Don't go too far now. Amane will probably become really downhearted if you do that.
ふふふ。あまねちゃんめ、今に見てなさい。
Oh my god, you're gonna fuck with my ears too? Good god.
あまね先輩と会ったの？
Yeah, after that I went to the runway and met her by chance.
なんですぐ呼ばないかな。
Here we go again. Well, Amane had to leave.
葵だけずるい。
Why are you giving the exact same response as Kotori? At school, I told Ageha the exact same thing I told Kotori the day before, and she gave exactly the same response. There's a strong sense of unity in the Soaring Club.
あさってまた来るんだって。マジで？来るってどこに来るの？どこ？
I think she's gonna come and eat at Flying Fish Manor. Amane, oh no, skip!
どうせなら秘密基地に来てもらおうよ。それ、私も言おうと思ってた。今の私たちの活動をあまねちゃんに見てもらいたい。
Yeah, I agree. We all thought so subconsciously. The thing that Amane has left behind, the thing that we had inherited from her, and also how much we'd grown. We wanted her to see us as we are now. Hey, I have a suggestion.
ん？なに？
The truth is, I told everyone about the idea that occurred to me the night before. Three days later, as promised, Amane Mochizuki came to Kazagawa.
あまねちゃん！
Let's go!
やあみんな、元気だったかい？元気だよ。ね、みんな。この通りです。クワクワ。ハットも元気だったか。
Seems like it. In the afternoon, after finishing her work at Anshan's factory, she came round to Flying Fish Manor.
あまねちゃんはどうなの？うん、元気だぞ。そうなんだ。ねえ、ちょっと前かがみになってみて。
I think I see where this is going.
じゃあなんでメールの返事しないんだ！
Yep, that's exactly where it was going. Right down the line where Amane's hair was parted, Kotori gave her a great big karate chop. Whoa! What are you doing?
わわ、バカ小鳥！先輩の貴重な脳細胞にもしものことがあったらどうすんの？ほんと、今日はこのくらいにしといてやるわ。ひどいぞ、小鳥。
Amane rubs the top of her head where it had been chopped with tears in her eyes. Seeing those mannerisms makes me feel sorry for her.
あの人があまねさん？思ってたより変ね。
Asa, introduce yourself.
でも綺麗だよ。背も高くて優しそう。
Introduce yourself!
天才となんとかは紙一重って言うけど、限りなくなんとかの方に近そうね。
Hey, we've heard everything you've been saying, including Amane. Well, even if she did hear, Amane doesn't seem to have actually noticed.
紹介するわ。この子が新しく入った後輩
There
の
we
朝よ。
go.
この子が。私じゃないです。
Asa blushed and hid behind Yoru.
朝、ちゃんと挨拶して。この人が偉大な大先輩、望月あまねちゃんよ。
After being chopped on the head, it's hard to think of her as our great predecessor. But Asa seems really humble in front of her. She really is cool.
はじめまして、風と朝です。望月あまねだ。よろしくな、朝。
Asa is really excited by Amane being so friendly towards her all of a sudden, giving her a handshake. Because Kotori had told her so many times about how great Amane is, it seems that Asa had believed every word of it.
こっちの子は？ただの部外者です。どうぞお気になさらずに。そうか、わかった。
Sarcasm doesn't really work on Amane. She just took it at face value and seemed like she wasn't really worried about it at all.
じゃあ早速ご飯にしよう。もうお腹ペコペコだ。
That sounds like a plan.
はあ？何言ってんのよ、あまねちゃん。今日は葵くんのご飯を食べに来たんだぞ。私らに会いに来てくれたんでしょ？それもある。
She said it like she was meeting us while she was on our way to munch.
私たち、先輩に見せたいものがあるんです。そうなのか。じゃあ、ご飯の後で。ご飯の前、葵くん、アンパンかなんかない？
I gave her bread that I bought, thinking I would eat it for lunch, but I'd forgotten about it. Here, eat this to keep your hunger at bay for the time being.
はあ、うぐいすパンだ。
That actually sounds pretty good.
さあ、行くわよ。久しぶりだな、ここに来るのは。
Said Amane as we climbed the gentle sloping path of Windmill Hill. We flew over here many times on our test flights, didn't we? Flying over here felt good, so it was a regular course when we were testing.
来年ここに私が設計した風車が建つんだ。そうなんですか？
Amane nods.
グライダー製作で得た空気力学なんかのアイデアを使って新しい風車をデザインしてみたんだ。実験的に何機かここに建てられることになっている。新しい風車が建つんですか？
For some reason, Asa's eyes sparkle as she joins the conversation.
ああ、来年だけどな。仕事の片手間に設計図を書いていたら他のスタッフに見つかってしまってな。知らない間に実際に作ることになっていたんだ。
Because of that, the number of calls and emails with requests has been increasing, she mutters. She's still a natural-born Dummkopf. Or should I say, genius. Then, when thinking about the windmill that Amane designed, we arrived at our destination. Here it is, Amane.
おー。さあさあ、入って入って。
Entering the dock, Amane looked up at the vast ceiling.
ここが私たちの新しい秘密基地よ。朝ちゃんと夜ちゃんに使わせてもらってるんです。
Amane takes a look around at the dock's facilities.
これはすごいな。随分と本格的じゃないか。でしょ？朝たちのおかげよ。
Thanks to this place, the plan that we've been working on is proceeding smoothly.
温めてきた計画？
We grin while standing in front of the glider that had positioned there.
これはやっと気づいたみたい。まあまだ全然途中だからね。
While Kotori and Ageha whisper to each other, Amane checks over the aircraft that was in the middle of being built.
やっぱりだ。これって
They're improving it according to the designs that you left behind.
私の設計図。そうよ。あまねちゃんがイシタのためにデザインしたやつね。
Ageha holds out the designs that had been put over there. Amane looks at them quietly, and it wasn't clear if it was a sense of nostalgia or sadness.
あの設計図ってあまねさんが描いたんだって。へえ。君たちはバカだな。こんなものただの机上の空論なのに。
Amane, you are too fucking humble.
そんなことない。実現させるもん。活動場所がなくて何もできなかった間、私たちずっとこの図面を見ながら話し合ってきました。どうすれば実現させられるかって。
We carefully considered, piece by piece, the possibility of making the parts. We hypothesized the actual construction of all the parts and the plans and carried out the realistic simulation. That was really painstaking work. But thanks to that, we were able to confirm that we actually could make it. That's why we can do it.
みんな、私たちは絶対に行くの。あの雲の回廊へ。その時はあまね先輩も一緒です。
We will fly bearing everyone's dreams. With this thing.
やっぱりバカだな、君たちは。あまねちゃんの後輩なんだもん。しょうがないじゃん。あ、まったくだ。姉さん？
Asa held her hand up and ran towards us. Then... Oh shit! She slipped and fell over. Are you okay, Asa?
それより、私も一緒に飛びたいです、先輩。
Prost!
もちろんよ。あんたはもう私たちの後輩なんだから。そうそう。嬉しいです。何よ、姉さんまで熱くなっちゃって。ほんとバカみたい。いい拠点を見つけたな。ここならのびのびと制作できそうじゃないか。
Amane seemed relieved as she spoke, having seen all the facility once we'd moved from the dock to the office. Amane must have been worried about us, which is just like her.
どうぞ、あまねさん。オレンジジュースです。ありがとう、朝。
It seems like Asa has gotten quite friendly with her already. Anyway, Amane, there's something I want to talk to you about. I spoke to her in a somewhat formal tone. Nervous expressions appeared on Kotori and Ageha's face. The reason why we brought you here is not to show you the new base.
そうなのか?
I nod sharply. Then I look at Kotori and Ageha once more to confirm our intentions. They both look back at me to tell me, go ahead. Asa just had a nervous look on her face as she gripped her bottle of soda. Amane, can you be our advisor?
顧問?
Because we don't have an advisor, we can't be recognized as a club like we talked about before. After that, we asked several teachers, but of course, they all refused.
グライダーの専門知識を持ってる先生なんていないし、飛岡先生からも睨まれているので。
Der Schwanzkopf.
もし顧問になってくれても、資格を持ってないんじゃ、あんまり意味ないし。
As far as that's concerned, you have all the required qualifications, and you have the experience of managing a glider.
それはまあ、そうだが。でも、私は先生じゃないぞ。
That shouldn't be a problem. I'm the one who thought of this suggestion. Before I changed schools, I was in the cycle racing club, but the coach was a pro racer who'd been invited from outside the school. Bringing in an outsider to be the coach is quite common in top-level sports clubs, and it's also not unusual for arts-based clubs to bring in experts. Amane had graduated from our school, so she was already very familiar with it. This meant that the chances of its being permitted were much higher than if we were to bring a complete Auslander.
お願い、アマネちゃん。アマネちゃんしかいないの。お忙しいとは思うんですけど。
Seeing us all bowing our heads, Amane goes in deep thought. She walked once around the office and picked up the picture frame that was on the shelf.
あの時、私はグライダーと関わるのはもう最後にしようと思っていた。私の専門分野とは違うし、高いところはあまり好きじゃないからな。それに、もうイスカはいない。
Isuka's no longer here? That meant that Amane didn't have any reason to continue having anything to do with gliders? Amane!
いいの？それで。だってあの時、もう少しで届きそうだったのに。届きそうで、届かなかった。きっと、そういうことなんだと思う。
Amane speaks as if she realized something. That time, inside of you, you'd already found the answer!
ああ。
As Amane answered without hesitation, the rest of us, without knowing it, all hung our heads. It really was a thing of the past, Amane and gliders. We kinda knew this already, but now we felt that the truth we didn't want to accept was right there in front of us. Amane looked at herself in the photograph. The picture of herself with a slightly awkward smile on her face.
でも、私は君たちに返しきれないほどの恩がある。今度は私が君たちの力になる番だ。じゃあ、あ、引き受けよう。顧問の話。やったー！
や
ったよ、小鳥！
Yeah! We'll be able to do something about it now!
よかったですね、先輩！
We all instinctively gave each other high fives and hugged each other to express our joy.
まったくもう、脅かさないでよ、アマネちゃん。本当ですよ。実はな、さっき話した新型の風車なんだが、特別実習という形で慶風学園の生徒が建設プロジェクトに参加することになっているんだ。
ん？
ああ、それなんか聞いたことあるかも。大掛かりな体験実習があるから希望する生徒は申し出るようにって、そのことだったんだ。
The ones taking part must be mostly 4th and 5th grade students. Even though they say they're recruiting those who wish to take part, they didn't ask the 3rd graders. I wonder where Ageha heard that rumor.
私はその授業で講師をするんだ。
Boom! Amane proudly sticks out her chest. Her amp...
どう
Skip!
だ？ すごいだろう。私は先生だぞ。大人なんだぞ。
No way! As always, the thing that she's boasting about is a bit off the mark. Compared to teachers, those at the center of a big project like this are supposed to be of an even higher level!
じゃあ、天音先輩が授業をするんですか？
Oh, let's go! Was that Amane arches her back, pointing her nose to the ceiling? The rest of us say, "There's no way she can do that, is there? Have faith!"
慣れないと先輩語を理解するのは難しいよね。かわいそうよ。選ばれた優秀な生徒たちがかわいそうよ。学校で会ったらちゃんと望月先生って呼ぶんだぞ。留年しまくっていい年して学生続けてた人が今さら何言ってんだか。
While we were having that kind of conversation,
なるほど。それで風車か。あれってあなたの設計だったのね。
Yoru, explain.
ん？
Yoru, did you know about the plan?
ええ。だってそのプロジェクトにお金出してるのうちのおじいちゃんなんだもん。え？そうなの？慶風学園の生徒が参加できるのもおじいちゃんの差し金よ。
Really?
学校の実績につながるし、いい宣伝にもなるしね。私も参加しろって言われたけど、面倒だから断ったわ。
Really? Oh. Is that so? Now the conversation's going off on a completely different tangent. Well, somehow she accepted. We've taken another step forward.
じゃあ帰ろう。お腹がペコペコだ。
We left to go back to Flying Fish Manor to, not going to read that! And you know what? I think that is an excellent place to leave things off. We've made a lot of headway this episode, so I'm gonna save the rest for next week. Till then, though, it's been your German boy. Auf Wiedersehen.